Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing really well this week and enjoying the new month and all as it unfolds. We are continuing on with recipes I've always wanted to try from kids' books from my childhood. Today is our entree of the week. We are making stone soup from it's been actually adapted by many things I found in just kind of looking up what I figured versus what would be in stone soup. And the version I'm most familiar with is by Tommy DePaola, who did wonderful books, so many great books. You've got Old Befana, Stregonona, The Indian Paintbrush. So his version of stone soup is the one I'm most familiar with, and it's kind of what I had in my head when I was looking at the recipes. But it's been adapted by a lot of people, and one sec. Sorry about that. But it's been adapted by a lot, and the story kind of follows the same. I'm sure you've heard it, but just in case. It's one where there are some hungry, whether it's hungry travelers, hungry soldiers, hungry people who are not from this small village, is the basic concept, and they are coming in, kind of passing through. They have no food, no money, very little with them. And the people of this small village are kind of like, I don't know who you are. I don't really know you very well. I don't have a lot. I can't give you really anything. As they kind of go around asking, do you have any food you can share? Do you have any food you can share with us? And they're like, I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot. And these two travelers, soldiers, what have you, kind of get this idea in their head. And they're like, oh, I know what to do. I know how to kind of help with this. We're going to tell them we're making stone soup. They'll be so interested that they may want some, and then they'll share with us. So they get a stone, they get a pot, they get some water from a nearby river, pond, stream, what have you, light a fire, and they start talking it up very loudly. This is so great. I can't wait to have stone soup. Stone soup is the best meal. I'm so excited for this stone soup. And one by one, each little kind of villager, family comes out from their home. I've never heard of stone soup. What is stone soup? Tell me about the stone soup. Well, it's really great. You see, we're boiling this stone. It's going to be so tasty once it's ready. It would be great if we had a little something else to put with it, but we'll do with what we can. And if you've never had it, you're really missing out. And each one that comes out each time, well, I have a little potatoes. I have, celery, carrots, onions, meat, whatever it is I've got a little extra of this. Would that go in stone soup? And they're like, yeah, it could go in stone soup. And if you give us some, if you share that with us, we will gladly share this soup with you. And so the whole village comes together. They're all giving their extra ingredients. They make this great stew. By the time it's done, the villagers, travelers, soldiers, whoever they are, we've cooked this so long, we've overcooked the stone, we removed the stone from it. Let's all share this great stew we've made by sharing what we have with each other. So it's a great lesson. So let's get to it. Almost forgot. I don't own any rights to stone soup in any of its adaptations. Not that I make any money off this, but I just want that noted. It's time for another episode of Cooking with Kaitlin. That's me. Enjoy. All right, I'm gonna start. Got some onions. I'm gonna cut up and put in there. And a few of the vegetables we're gonna kind of season a little first. Onions is gonna be one of them. Some of them can kind of go in a little later because the soup will simmer for a little while. But just remembering that these are going in to the soup. Just kind of cut them the size you're going to want them, or if you've got your littles helping you with this, because it's a great book that they could read and then make a soup with, size they would appreciate. So I'm going to do the onions, and I'll get back to the next ingredient in a second. Alright, so finished doing my 2 onions. I've got butter and garlic melting in the pot. Onions need a little longer to get tender sometimes than others. You just kind of, and you want kind of more of that caramelization as opposed to just boiled. So we're going to let them go in there while we chop up the rest of our stuff. Might do the ham in there with it once it's done before doing all the rest of the vegetables. just because they won't need the same kind of caramelization. We're just gonna do that. Gonna also add some salt and pepper to them while they're in there, kind of caramelizing down for us, like we've done with other soup recipes, as we've seen. So we're just gonna give it the occasional stir while I'm chopping up everything else. No, you can't see, but it's what I'm doing, and you've seen me do it before, and you'll see me do it again on this video in a little bit. All right, next up is our carrots. So just got 2, and same thing, we're just to the size you want in your stone soup. I did peel mine. It's up to you if you want to do that or not. I like it. If I'm eating them like this, if I was just going to shred them or something, I probably wouldn't care, but like this I do. And some of my bigger ones I'll probably chop down just kind of in half. Just a little easier on the bite size, but not too bad. I'm going to set these to the side one sec. All right, we have 3 stalks of celery we're going to put in here. We're going to get rid of stuff that won't quite go in there. And same thing, just to how big you want them to be in your stone soup. And this is where this is a great way, if your kids do not eat a lot of vegetables, this might be a good way to start introducing it through books they hopefully know and love. So we're just doing that, and I'll check back after I'm done doing the celery. All right, next we've got these little red potatoes. We're gonna just kind of lightly slice in. Again, just kind of doing that. I'm leaving the skins on them because we like it. Your kids may not if you've got other people in your house. I am saving this very tiny one though, because it's stone soup. This is going to act as our stone, because I'm not going to put an actual rock in my pot. I like my pot too much for that, but I am going to slice up about a handful of potatoes and get them ready, and we will check back after that. All right, the last thing I'm doing, it's going to be our meat in it. You can do whatever meat you choose. I am going to be using that ham stock we made a few weeks back, so I got more ham to go in it. But you could do chicken, you could do turkey, you could do beef, you could do all veggies. You do not have to have meat in it. It's up to you. But I'm just going to cut it up to the size I want. And then I'm going to I'll show you the onions, then I'll be adding it in with the onions here in a minute. So we'll check back then. All right, so look, they are so nice and tender. Let's see, guys. Oh, I know what I need to do. So that it kind of draws that out. But anyway, see, very nice and tender. I'm going to add our ham in now for a couple minutes, and then we'll add in our vegetables and then our ham stock. I know that was a huge looking piece of ham. Could certainly do more than what we did, but it was a bone-in ham steak. So I cut around the bone and the fatty bits. I'm just gonna do this around. I'm gonna cover it for a couple minutes, and then we will check back. All right. And I know it was supposed to be the first thing in there, but we needed to kind of sweat the other stuff out a little bit. But here's our stone going in. Then we'll pretend we just added the onions and the meat. We're going to add the rest of our vegetables that we already cut up. Do some more pepper. Be right back. All right, we've added our pepper. Gonna add some sea salt, some oregano, and some sage. We're going to give that a good stir all around. Make sure everything's getting seasoned and everything's getting kind of cooked. Kind of want it all to just do that for just a little bit. So I'm only going to add in a splash of our ham stock while it starts. Then we'll add in the rest. That was like a third of a cup we just added in. Just doing that, just to kind of get it all there. This piece of celery just flew loose. All right. Just gonna put the top on it, let it kind of heat up for a few minutes, then we'll check back. All right. We don't want them to get too mushy. We just wanted that seasoning to kind of set in some. Now we're gonna add in the rest of our 4 cups of our ham stock. Looks to be the right amount because it just covers the vegetables, which is all we wanted it to do. So that's good. All right. We're gonna get this to come up to a boil. Then we're gonna reduce the heat and let it simmer about 20 to 30 minutes. So I'll check back when it's boiling to show you. All right, so we've gotten it up to a boil. We're reducing it to simmer. We're gonna set the timer for about 20 minutes and come check. We're just gonna make sure it's easy to go through, like the thicker potatoes and carrot slices, and as long as they're just easy enough to go through, they can still have a bit of firmness. It's not like we're pureeing these like we've done in other recipes. Then the soup will be ready. All right, so we'll check back then. All right, so our stone soup is ready to be served. It's simmered. About 25 minutes is what we did. Gonna just put some in a bowl. Looks so good. Very excited. We still have a bit of Peter Rabbit salad, so I think I'll be having that along with it. And it's got a nice broth that we made a few weeks ago. I'm gonna have some cornbread with it, just out of the mix. Just easy to do. There we go. See, there's my cornbread. Made it well. Oh, you guys couldn't even, I'm so sorry. Here it is. Thought it was angled. Here's our soup, and we've got some cornbread to go with it. Bon appetit. See you later.